Hi everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Esmeralda from the marketing at EMIS, and today I'm with my colleague Sofia Sanders, account manager. Thank you all for joining today. We are going to have a couple of minutes to the other attendees to join before starting. In the meanwhile, we have prepared a poll to try to focus as much as possible today's webinar. That poll can be found on the right side. We will come back to you in a couple of minutes when everyone is online. Well, now we are all the full house, so we will start. For ones of you who are not really familiar about EMIS, EMIS is an online platform used by thousands of professionals around the world who are looking for company, industry, or country information on emerging markets. Today, we are going to have a little intro about EMIS and a short demo of the tool. Before I handle the control to my colleague Sofia, I would like to mention a point, and is that during today's presentation, you have the opportunity to ask questions. You can submit them using the panel on your right, on the orange arrow, and after the presentation and the demo, we will answer them. Saying that, I'm going to hand over to Sofia, who is here with me.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Sofia Sanders. I'm a key account manager at EMIS, based here in London. So I'm going to start today's presentation just with a short overview of EMIS, who we are, and what we specialise in. So EMIS, we are specialists in company, industry, and country intelligence with a focus on emerging markets. We're an aggregator, and we collect the very best in global and locally sourced information in approximately 125 countries globally. We are also experts in proprietary company and industry research and produce our own EMIS insights with a selection of company and industry reports. And we have been going for over 20 years, so we have over 20 years experience of working closely with emerging markets. Okay. So moving on then, having a look at our coverage. So here at EMIS, we have on our platform approximately 9,000 publications, which cover, as I said, company, industry, and country level research. We have just over 2.7 million private and public company profiles on our platform, which will be actually doubling in size this year in 2018. As well as company intelligence and data, we also track M&A activity, and we have a proprietary database of M&A transactions. And we also cover industry sectors in great depth, both with a collection of global industry reports and also locally sourced industry information as well. Our content comes in 15 different languages here at EMIS, and we have 125 countries that we cover. So here are just some quick examples of our sources, our key sources, both for company, industry and news, available to you on EMIS. Many of these I'm sure you'll be very familiar with, but as well as those that are very well-known brands, we also have a lot of expertise in sourcing local information in emerging markets, as well as the global sources. Recently this year, we've also added to our database with a new collection of premium global industry sources, which are now available to you on EMIS. And here are 3 examples. So Grandview, Biz and Allied, their reports are now all available, the entire collection on the EMIS platform. And then here, just to summarise some enhancements that are taking place this year. I appreciate that some of you might already currently use EMIS, so it's useful to see what is going to be happening this year. So we're going to be doubling the size of our company database this year. We also are heavily investing in some key emerging markets, China being a very good example of that, where we have recently added just about 400,000 new China private companies. We've also making significant investments in company intelligence in Africa this year, meaning that we'll have very soon 120,000 new companies on EMIS across a range of African countries, and we'll also be adding a number of new French language sources for company news across many different African countries this year. And that content will be becoming available in the coming months on EMIS. Okay, so if I now just go over to the platform itself. So here, I'm in EMIS Professional here, and you can see here that EMIS basically provides 3 key pillars of information. So companies, industries, and country analysis. So here at the top, we have all of the countries selected here. And again, this is very important. You have all the different language selections here. And it's very important to ensure that all of your local languages are selected to ensure that you can view all of that really good locally sourced content in emerging markets. So I'm just going to start just with a simple search. So I'm going to company analysis, and I'm going to open the quick screener. This is our tool to help you search and screen for companies using EMIS. So here I have a drop-down box, and I can select a particular country. So I'm just going to search for Brazil. And then now you'll see it's automatically filtering on the right-hand side here with a list of top Brazilian companies by total revenue size. And then here, I might want to then filter it further for a particular industry. So at EMIS, we use the NAICS classification code for industries, as you can see here. So I'm just going to look for an example, for example, in agriculture. And here I see my list filtered for this particular sector in Brazil. You can also change the parameters here if you want to limit or extend the operating revenue, assets, or profit. You can filter it further here. So once I've created my selection, I then might want to look at the particular company that I'm interested in. So I'm just going to open an example of a company profile here. So this particular company, Copa, we have here their landing page. So you can see here some basic corporate information, a snapshot of financial data, up to 2017 annual data there, which you can easily export to Excel. On the landing page, we also have some key executives and also ownership details. So you can see, what the details are in terms of ownership by percentage, any subsidiary information, and also any similar companies within the same sector. In this case, it's agriculture. So who are Copa competing with? Here we get the list. We can look at that too. Okay, so to navigate through the profile, you can also use this navigation bar at the top. So from this point, for example, I might be interested in their latest company news. And this is going to be sourced from a number of Brazilian sources of local company news, and also any global sources. And you can see here the results. Many of the results here are coming through in Portuguese, because obviously we're in Brazil here. So I have the option at any point to translate all of this content into English, and I'm hovering here over the translation. and it's going to put these articles straight into English for me, and I can even filter them further. For example, I might be interested in any negative news relevant to this company, so I select negative news here, and here I get my latest list of articles. Okay. Also, here we have, for example, any financials that you might be interested in looking at. So we have here both financial statements, and we also have an archive of original financial documents too. So here within the financial statements, you'll be able to have a look at the standards. Here we have global standard or the local standard that you might be interested in looking at. And you can export the statement here, and these are the different parameters that and parts of the financial statement. I'll show you there. And also, if you want to take a look at the original financial reports, you just select that here, and you go to the archive of original financial documents, which are all available on EMIS. Okay. As well as that, we also have similar companies, so you can look at, comparison of this particular company within the sector. So you can see, so these are the companies that it's competing with, and here is a quick comparison of some of their key financial data. And here as well, we have any relevant M&A transactions relevant to Copa as well, where we report on any deals either that have already happened or that are due within the pipeline. Now, when you're using the information contained within our company profiles, you also have the option at any point to create custom alerts. So you can add a particular company to set up an email alert here. You can also add it to your own EMIS dashboard. And as well as that, you can create your own custom report where you might, for example, want to share internally and be able just to pull some key financial data and analysis from EMIS. And then you can build a custom report, download it in PDF. And obviously, that's very helpful for any presentations you might be doing as well. Okay. So that's an example of a company profile. So just sticking with companies for a moment, as well as a very large collection of company profiles and data and also local company news, here at EMIS we also provide EMIS Deal Watch, which is a database of merger and acquisition activity. We have two databases here, so let's just open up Deal Watch 1 second. So we're here in the landing page for EMIS Deal Watch. So here we're looking at any latest M&A transactions where we look at the country of the target company, who the buyer is, and some key statistics. We have any latest M&A news. And then we have also here some league boards of top advisors, both financial and legal, and M&A reports as well. So to begin using our M&A database, you have here two databases: a deal database, which is transactions that have already happened, and Deal Monitor, which are deals which are rumoured to happen at some stage soon. So let's have a quick look at Deal database. So here we have a very large collection of transactions in emerging markets, which you can filter by various different parameters. So for example, if I'm looking at a particular country, let's just say I'm interested, if we just stick with Brazil, I choose my country here, and then by clicking search, I'm straight away filtering for transactions in Brazil, and you can see there are just under 10,000 in total on the database. Now, from this point here, you might want to actually look at, filtering this further. For example, either by industry, you might just be interested in a particular sector. So again, you can continue to apply filters, really to kind of limit, really focus on the type of deals you want to look at. So I've now filtered this for oil and gas in Brazil. And I now have my list, which I can export into Excel. And to understand a bit more about a particular deal, you would just select the deal ID, and this will take you through to what the deal was about, who was the target, the buyer, seller, key statistics, and also some commentary about the deal, which is produced by our EMIS Deal Watch team here, who analyses transactions, and then will provide the commentary here. Okay. So just going back 1 second, just one other way as well you can filter it. Many clients like to use Deal Watch to track particular deals that are taking place with one country, perhaps targeting a different country. So for example, if I want to make a selection here for China, and maybe I'm looking for Chinese companies that are targeting a particular country. So if I make a selection here, and then I select Argentina in this example as the target country, and it's going to filter this for me again, so I can look at those types of transactions. So we're still within oil and gas here. You can see I've kept that industry the same, but now by making those changes, I've been looking at where China is the buyer, and it's targeting companies within Argentina. So that's how you can use Deal Watch to really analyse M&A activity across all emerging markets. And Deal Monitor is the second key database that we have here, the principle being very much the same, but here we're looking at forward-looking rumours of deals which might take place. So here again, sticking with China, we have just over 1,000 different M&A transactions that we're looking at potentially taking place where China is the target, and I can open any of these and get details on this particular deal. Okay, great. So that's a quick overview of the company pillar. If we now move on to industries, so as well as being experts in company intelligence, EMIS also has a leading collection of global industry analysis as well, coming from a number of key sources, both for global industry sectors and also locally by country. So to have a look at that, if we go to the industry landing page, so you'll see here that I have China selected at the top, so moving forward with that. And here I have an industry landing page which I can filter, so I can look at, for example, news today, industry news in China, key industry reports, and also here on the left I can filter down to a certain subsector, again using the NAICS classification code. So if I'm interested, for example, in a particular industry, here in this example I've looked at utilities, and always check obviously that your country is selected here and then you're here in your sector. And you'll see here that we are looking at utilities, news and industry analysis for China. And again, we can translate all of this local content into English here, coming from these different sources in China. And here I can look at some examples of industry coverage that we have. Now here we're obviously at the country level. So if I go to my reports here, I'm just going to have a look. This is an example here. So here we have a PDF of an EMIS Insight report focusing on China thermal power. So EMIS Insights are our own proprietary industry reports. So we focus here on the sector as a whole, and we will provide an executive summary, sector overview, and some snapshots here with some key data, all of which is very helpful to help you understand the particular sector, in this case in utilities. Okay. We also, under industries, have, if I go here, a very large collection of globally sourced industry information. So if I go to some of our leading providers here, So this is, we've recently expanded our coverage very much in this area, and we now have a very good selection of really detailed global industry reports focusing on many niche subsectors. So I'm going to open an example of one of our sources in this area. So Grandview Research specialise in a wide variety of industry sectors. So here is the current archive as of February 28th. And you can see here some examples of the type of reports that we're covering. And all of these obviously can be filtered by industry. So if you already know a particular industry you're interested in, we can filter that. So if I make a selection here, you'll see it's going to narrow our selection. And obviously we have many different key industries here that you can filter. You can also filter by keyword as well within Grandview. Is that if there is a particular niche sector that you're interested in, you can use a keyword here. So Grandview are one of our leading providers of industry research. And if I just go back to the main page, I will just again show you the full archive, so you can see the type of content that they're covering. Okay, so as well, if I go back to industries as well, we also have added a number of others and also increased our coverage in some of our existing industry providers. So some examples of that. So Allied is a brand new source on EMIS. So is BIS Global Industry Reports. BIS very much focus on the dynamic industries. So they're a very exciting new source that we're adding. They've only been going for a couple of years, but we're really excited to bring them onto EMIS as we think they've got some excellent key kind of niche subsectors which are very much within the dynamic industries. And here is some examples of that. Okay. And then if we look at some of our other sources, so we also have a collection of BMI industry reports, which now cover all emerging markets for all industries. So this is a partner that we work closely with, where we now have expanded our scope of coverage. And then GRDS is also one of our key providers who provide a lot of forecast data for various different industry sectors. Okay, and then the final pillar is country analysis. So here we provide access to some country risk reports and also some economic data. So for example, we're still in China here, so you can either filter this by news reports or data. So if I go to latest reports, now these are going to be all of our country reports for China. So I would need to click translate here, but you'll see that many of these are coming from VSAT, which is one of our key report sources that we have for China. And then here, under country data, let me just pop onto reports first. We'll just open reports as well. Okay, that's mainly that. I'm just going to look for. Okay, so we also have, as well as VSAT, a number of other important sources for China, and here are some examples of those kind of reports which you'll be able to select. So if we open one of these as an example, you can see we have a country economic forecast for China, which will have some economic data. This is coming from Oxford Economics, which is one of our most popular sources for economic forecasting on EMIS. Okay, great. And then as well as that, we provide some country data. So we have GDP plus many other key economic indicators. And that data is usually up to 2017 or 2018 forecast. and you have a variety of different indicators that you can select on the left-hand side and create your own custom selection and download the data here as well. Then just one other thing to add as well, just in terms of the coverage this year and how we've increased, certainly on the data side. We have now recently added an industry statistics tool as well. So this is a collection of data from BMI, Oxford Economics, and CEIC. And what we provide here is so you can filter this initially by country. Sorry. Okay, 1 second. Okay, and then we choose a particular industry. So again, you can see the industry list here. We're using the NAICS classification code. And then when you select industry statistics here, you will see this example, our new industry statistics tool, where you have the 3 different providers of industry data, and you can easily compare and export their data via EMIS with this functionality here. So, for example, here we're looking at some BMI data. We're going to, sorry, let me just open this for Argentina. And as I expand these boxes, you'll be able to look at some of the concepts that we have for this particular country, all of which you can export here. And then the same for the other providers as well. So this is a new tool that we've recently added onto the platform to help our clients, better use our industry data that sits within our industry reports. Okay. Right. So just one final thing to mention as well. We've recently added as well some sourcing guidance to really help you better understand the full range of sources that are available to you on EMIS. So to access that, if you go into quick links here that I'm hovering over, we have sources editor's choice, which you can filter by country. And this will allow you to familiarize yourself with, what are the best sources on EMIS for company or industry research, for example. So here you'll see that we have it filtered for Argentina, and I can scroll across and look at some of our top recommended sources for company insight within Argentina. And some of these obviously are global, but you can actually just filter by local sources as well. And then if you want to understand a bit more about the particular publication, you can just open it here, and then you see a full description and an archive of this particular publication. So I would definitely recommend using Editor's Choice and really to provide you with some guidance on how to familiarize yourself with the platform. Okay, and as well as that, the same for industries. So we have a selection of key industry publications here for Argentina that I'm hovering over now, and you'll be able to have a look into these and get a really good understanding of what the level of coverage is from that particular provider. So as an example, let's have a look at Euromonitor, sector capsules in Argentina, and here we have the full archive. Okay, and then just finally as well, here at EMIS, we also provide customer support globally. So we have a number of offices in various locations that provide support when using EMIS. So when you're using the platform, if at any point you're on a particular page and need some support, just use this button here, and this will tell us exactly what page you're on and send your inquiry, and our local client support team in your location will help and come back to you with answers on your particular inquiry. And as you can see, we have many different locations where we have client support in place to assist you. Okay.
Well, thank you, Sophia, for your presentation and demo of the tool. We have a couple of questions. We have one from Ina regarding the PM reports.
Okay.
So she's asking, are our reports cover the companies is published or only selected?
Okay, so if you're looking for that particular source, so let's have a look. The best way to do it, so obviously you have the keyword search at the top, which will take you to the particular source that you're looking at, and that's how you would kind of search for different sources and filter accordingly. So I will have a look into that specific question for you there on PMR reports, just to ensure that I'll check with our content team and then come back to you on that particular one.
Thank you, Sophia. So we have another question, and is regarding the industry statistics, and is what are your main sources?
Sure. Okay. So you might remember we just had a quick look at the new industry statistics tool. So within industry statistics, the three key sources that we looked at and that we have industry content for are BMI, Oxford Economics, and CEIC. And all of that data can be found simply by selecting industry statistics here, and it will create your selection for you and then produce the data from those three providers for you.
Okay, thank you. And the last one, because we are running out of time, what's the best way to perform a search within the global industry reports?
Okay, yes, that's a great question. So here on the main page here, so in order to search, and obviously you have a basic keyword search here at the top, or by selecting enter, this will open advanced search, and this will allow you to then begin filtering by keywords and also by category, so whether you're looking for news, reports, or companies, etc. So in order to look for our information and look for keywords within industry reports, if we check under reports here, we can apply filters here. So you'll see we have reports selected, and if I choose more filters, here under sources, I can actually choose to search for a keyword just within the global industry reports. So for example, I might want to see, okay, so show me what you have in terms of automotive as a keyword. And if I select search title or title and abstract, actually, this will now filter just within our global premium reports, any title that has automotive in it, title or abstract. So that's the best way to really search within the global reports. So you would go to advanced search, select reports, and then use more filters to create a custom search within the global reports only. And obviously you can apply any keyword to this. And also it's important to bear in mind that here we've made a dedicated page for the global industry sources. So this will take you to basically a landing page with those new sources available that you can obviously go in and then search by keyword within any of these new report providers here.
Well, thank you, Sophia. I would like to thank you, all of you, for attending today. And if you have any more questions, you can send an email as well to Sophia, who has kindly shown us today the platform and a little more about how EMIS help businesses. And yeah, so thank you so much, all of you, for attending, and I hope that was really useful for you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.